And then when we're ready, that's a lousy shot. I think I took out a bush. Hey, my God, it floats. Oh my God. Hey everybody, it's BC here, and welcome to another episode of Planet Nomads. If you're wondering where I am right now, I'm actually about 1.5 kilometers away from the pinball table right now. I'm actually on top of the control tower of Nomadia right now, which is underwater. This is definitely the most trickiest build I've had to deal with yet. I've been having the problem with where it looks like it's there, but it's not, and the hitbox is somewhere else. I can't find it in the water. I had 3 different saves. This save here is before I balanced it. I made a big mistake when I built this. Wow, I overlooked something actually. It's actually the thing I'm standing on right here. I didn't even think about how much weight I've got on this one side. So when it went up, it capsized. And then I had to adjust the buoyancy on all the pads down below because they didn't have them high enough. So I'm going to go do that quickly. And then I'll actually show you what I got going on down here. Show you what I did. I used the heaviest objects in the game. I used beacons. And while we're here, I might as well show you my dirty little secret of how I got this thing to run. Some of you already know. Some of you have already figured it out long before I did. But yeah, it's no trick. It's no hack. It's no wheel trick. No hit. I've heard winches can do it and all that stuff. But hover pads work underwater. In this case, the reason why I was going so slow, I just had them set using the hover power, and I was using directional, which is actually causing this to turn left and right to steer. So that's one of the things we're going to do in this episode, is we're actually going to switch all these pads around. Because I have an odd number back here, I'm probably going to leave the middle row as directional, or as the way it is right here. I won't have any settings on them, and then the outer 2 rows, there's 5 here, right? 1, 2. No, it's 5 over here. But the ones over there, I had an odd number. I think it was over there. But the ones that don't match up, I'll just keep them going back and I'll turn the settings off. But these ones are going to be facing in. Those ones are going to be facing in. As long as they're facing each other, it should be no problem, as long as you have enough power. If you have one pad less on this side than that side, then it's going to start drifting that way. So, but first what we're going to do is we're going to balance this thing. I actually wanted to get more work done on this, but I actually had trouble loading it when I was uploading that video. So, right about here is the control tower's over there, so I just want to stick a couple of beacons in here just to add some weight. And then I gotta switch the buoyancy of every single floating foundation block to maximum because I forgot to do that when I built this. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm almost done. Last couple here. I also noticed something too. This was actually quite funny. You go to rename block, it actually says hover pad, not floating base foundation or whatever it's supposed to say. But as you can see, I got the one beacon over here. I got another one further back. I'm trying to keep the weight spread out, just so it doesn't have to be perfectly in line with the tower out front. But now it's time to watch the Titanic rise from the deep. And then I gotta replant it before I do any work on it. So, and yoink, leg spike. And hopefully it doesn't capsize on me. Oh, look at that. I love it. Alright, now I gotta wait for it to settle down so I can plant it. Getting a little seasick. Yeah, I had no intention of actually making this thing to scale. Sadly, this might be the last time I load it. Like, I have no idea after I add more stuff to this if it's actually going to do anything. But now we got to go ahead and plant it and switch those hover pads over. So I need to, let's actually, yeah, we'll do it here. If I get on. It's going to be a little ways down. I'm actually in deep water right now. Let me see if I can get that planted. Come on. Alright. Yeah, that's why I gotta plan it too. You see that lag when I click? It's like a half a second lag as I build onto this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna save you the time. I'm gonna get all these switched around and configured off camera, and then I'll bring you back and show you what I've done, and then maybe we'll add a little bit of decoration and take it on for its final voyage. Oh yeah, that's getting a little laggy. I can see it's been here before. I love the shadow it creates. But yeah, anyways, I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm just wiring up the last 8 pads now. This is actually going to be good. Now, I'm wondering how this whole switchboard thing is supposed to work. I think they're trying to eliminate having to do this, so every time you add something, it should automatically get power from some grid. At least that's what I'm thinking. But anyways, this is what I got here. So these pads are facing sideways. These ones here are actually facing these ones here, just like these ones here are facing these ones here. So then that way it keeps the force even. So as you can see, I have directional set on them. So that when I go forward, these are going to turn backwards, and basically they're working like a water jet, like what you would find on a Ski-Doo. And then over here is the steering. I only set up 2 rows for steering, one in the back here and then one near the front, way down there. So it's basically going to be turning in the middle and using its directional force to actually align it. It's an aircraft carrier. It's not supposed to turn on a dime. Come on. But I'll give you a quick tour of the inside here. I was planning on actually trying to do the whole thing, like deck it right out, get buildings and cargo and whatnot, but it's having some issues. So you can see the counterweights here. I got one beacon there, one over there, and it's because of that control tower that's up there. So that is that. The generators are just there for that, and I put a solar beacon on this in case it ever goes missing, then I'll be able to find it at least. But I don't think it's going to go very far. But now let's see what we can do about a little bit of decoration here, because I have a feeling this is going to be the last time I'm going to be able to do anything to this plane, or this aircraft carrier. And I've been sort of thinking like mock, sort of like plainish looking objects. Not functional, but just something that looks like a plane. I was thinking possibly go with like a rounded cockpit. I was going to use the slopes for wings, of course. I'll use the slopes. Get some armor blocks in there. What else? Oh yeah, for the tip, I was going to use the sloped art corner to make a nose on it. And then just for a joke, that's going to be your engine. And what else do I need? I got the slopes. I'm going to actually use those just as like fake landing gear. Alright, so let's see what we can build here. So let's start at the front. I guess actually we have to start at the back. We gotta start on the blocks since we can't put the slopes on the actual ground. I wonder if there's a way I could work it out. Yeah, give me a second here. Let me think this one. Well, it's not the best looking thing in the world, but it looks like a plane. Oh, I forgot the engines. Just because. It's Planet Nomads after all. This is how we fly. Just stuck a wheel on the side of it and we're off. Alright, let's have a look at that. Let's go up on the control tower and have a look. I'll add a few more, and then I was thinking about an arrest cable, and I was originally thinking about winch cable, having a winch cable just going across the flight deck. But the problem with that is, unless it's been fixed, the winch cable comes disconnected every time you load in. So I was thinking of like a line of conveyors, but like I said, this might be the last time we see this. And there we go, there's our little plane. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to get a few more of them set up here, and then maybe a couple on this side here. And then I'll even set up maybe a few more things like an arrest cable or something, and then we'll take it for its final voyage. Alright, there we go. This actually looks pretty good, having all these planes on here. Alright, these little models. I thought I'd put one here on the runway taking off, and then you can see the arrest cable in the back there. I'm going to go up here and get a nice screenshot for Steam. And then we're gonna take it apart. Yes, I know there's holes everywhere in the ship. I did want to fill it in with the small blocks, but seeing as how this build's going, like I said, this will probably be the last time I'll be seeing it because I just added a couple hundred more parts to it. But screenshot. Alright, now for the moment of truth. Is it going to actually move? Is it going to freak out? Is it going to go up into space? I have no idea, but it's time to pull that anchor and see what happens. So far, I have to admit, it's worked pretty good for a huge build. Some things I've had to deal with, but watch this lag spike. Yes, that is a major lag spike. And it's floating. And it's here. Good. Alright, let's go for a little drive, shall we? Oh, I never put that cockpit inside there. I had one up top here. And I was piling it in because I don't know if we'd be able to actually see inside from there. But I was just thinking about it now. We can control it from the plane. Although we don't get much of a view. So maybe I'll take the chance of putting the cockpit up there while it's adrift. Because this might not be a good idea. Oh. Oh, jeez. Yes, that's why you have to anchor it when you build on it. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Zoom out and let's see how fast we can go. Yeah, it's doing about the same. 6.4, 6.5. It is moving though. See how it turns. Yes, if you did watch the other video, I did speed up the last part 2 times. Are we actually turning? Yeah, we're turning. We're turning slowly, but we're turning. My plan was to have more hover pads underneath the thing, but like I said, the way this build is going, I was sort of trying to push it to try to get it done. So I didn't really get the proper slope on the front of the deck there, and there was lots of little things I wanted to do, but sadly that's just not gonna happen. But yeah, so I'm gonna take the chance of putting a stasis, actually planting this somewhere, and hope that I can come back to it. But anyways, there we go. This is something I didn't think would actually be possible, but we have a not fully functional, but a drivable aircraft carrier. It's definitely the biggest thing I've driven in this game so far yet. But we'll see how the new update comes with the hover blades coming up in a couple of weeks. Crane Balls is actually curious to see what I can come up with. And to be quite honest, so am I. But anyways, I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave me a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.